talked about, right, was workplace discrimination. It was something I didn't really think about, so it was very interesting. Yeah, so about workplace discrimination, right, we learned it through like personal experiences of people who are suffering from mental illness. It's really a very real struggle, especially regarding like whether they have to, whether they should declare it on the interview form itself, like declare whether they have a mental illness. So like we were discussing about what are the attitudes or what are the intentions behind having that question itself. Is it about wanting to really like classify them and like chuck them one side, or is it to understand that they are having this mental illness and then support them in the future? So we were discussing like the employer's point of view, and also of course like we understand that employers do have like their considerations when putting in that question. And also something that's very real for people who are suffering from mental illness is that it's not just the employers who have that question in the declaration form or anything, but it's also the co-workers that they work with. If the co-workers do not really understand how it's like when they are suffering from mental illness and all, it can cause a lot of discrimination and a lot of chain reaction. So let's say like someone who's suffering from mental illnesses, right, like have to go for their appointments or go for their checkups regularly during the week. What the co-workers will have to do is that they will kind of in a way take over their workload. So that's where like it can cause misunderstanding, it can cause like dissatisfaction with the person with mental illness itself. So these are some of the things that we learn, and like we also discussed about how we can better, like how we can do something to help the co-workers support these people with mental health better.
So what I've learned is that there is one speaker that spoke about how he actually tried to apply for 4 years, but he didn't actually manage to get into a job because his application it wasn't accepted. Because there was this form, right, that says like your mental health status, and he wasn't really sure if he should put the mental health status or not. So when he did put, right, and he actually didn't get back to him after he submitted his application. So I guess what we can learn, right, from this roundtable sharing is that, you know, there are still gaps in our society amongst the workplace, and I think it's quite it could be detrimental in the near future because as we can see, like Singapore is actually facing more and more mental health issues. Like more and more youngsters are getting depression and anxiety attacks. So if we can't actually adapt these kind of issues into our workplace, then I think it's detrimental for the young people next time to get a job. If in here who is a 30 years old or 40 years old person who already can't get a job. So I think this needs to be fixed, and through our project I think this is good. This will raise our awareness.
Hello, I learned about caregiver stress. So me and my group, it was a very large group, we discussed about what are some stress factors that could arise from taking care of somebody who is mentally ill. So one of the things that we discussed was how caregivers themselves also feel really very stressed, especially with this stigma, this negative stigma that is placed onto people with mental illness. So one of the person that shared, she shared how she's taking care of a son with schizophrenia, and she had this intense fear of not letting anyone know because she feared that she may seem like a bad parent, or she doesn't know how to take good care of her son. So these are some real stress factors that are affecting the caregivers. And one of the things that we discussed to counter such is to raise awareness of mental illness at a young age. In primary school, we have a mental health awareness day, something like that. And also in the healthcare settings, we want to speak to the caregiver to let them know that it's normal to take care of someone who's mentally ill. That's what I learned.